Hello everyone, I hope you all are having a great week. As we look into this week's discussion question, we try and explain how we need to stay on track and not always fit into society and fit into our friends' lifestyles, because we are all our own person and we all need to make our own decisions. So in this week's discussion, it says, as you may already be aware, our society demands us to fit in, but we must remember that Jesus stood out from the crowd. So how would we convince our friends or even ourselves that you should not participate when the pressure is on to get involved in the sort of party lifestyle that we see in college today? And one thing that really helps me is to just set aside my goals for the future and to realize that in order to reach those goals, I need to stay focused. So I found this really good blog article. It's called 9 Ways to Resist Temptation. It's from the Healthy Lifestyle blog. And one really good way to just stay out of the temptation is to get rid of the distractions. It says that in order to stay focused, you need to get rid of all the bad distractions in life. This could be certain friends, this could be certain clubs or organizations that you may have been involved in, such as like sororities, frats. And I know sometimes there are very good sororities, there are very good frats that you may be in, but sometimes the party lifestyle is introduced because of those. And in order to stay on track in life, we just need to realize what our goals are in the future and how to best set up ourselves for our later future. And one way that I would just say to kind of stay out of temptation is just to realize that there is such a long life that we have to live. We have all these years. So why would we get involved in one situation that could potentially screw up or later affect our whole entire future? So I just know that to be a veterinarian or to be a surgeon, you have to get accepted into medical school, you have to get accepted into vet school, and those are all super competitive fields. So if you go out and party one night before a huge test and you end up getting a bad grade on that test, that is going to later affect you in so many ways that you may not see clear. And so just things like that, I think, are ways to help everybody avoid temptation, is just to know that certain little things in life can have a huge, what's the word I'm looking for? Can have like a huge effect on your later future. And so what steps might you take to convince somebody to stay out of that scene or to avoid temptation and all? And I think the huge steps, as listed in this article called How to Stay Focused in College Classes, and it just says to get plenty of sleep. And I think that that is something that college kids tend to forget, because when we are in high school, and I know some parents like have sort of a curfew for kids or just kind of have more strict rules for them, and that's something that we experience in high school. But when we go off to college, we get this sense of freedom that we can do anything because our parents aren't there to tell us no. And that's just something that college kind of has on the mind of a lot of students. And so I think in order to just stay successful and convince somebody to just stay out of the party scene, is just to tell them that you are going to have more success in college if you set yourself up in the right path. So if you are getting enough sleep the night before an exam, getting and taking away of all the distractions that are going to hurt your future, and just making sure that you are studying the right amount of time and that you are preparing yourself in a way that is most successful for you. So one thing is that if you really enjoy working out and you know that it's a part of your day, you need to make time to do stuff for yourself every single day in order to stay successful. You can't just always focus on studying. You can't just always focus on partying. You have to be able to balance out your successful lifestyle. And everybody's day is going to look different. If you're somebody that needs to read in order to just feel relaxed and stress-free, then you need to find time to do that every single day. And so just to avoid temptation, I think it is huge for everybody to just remember to stay on your track to success, because everybody's future is going to look different. When you see a friend that is doing something, that does not mean that you need to go do it in order to fit in, because I promise that there is a crowd out there that thinks the exact same way that you do. You're always going to have people in your corner that are going to support you no matter what change or what decision you make in life, because that's what happened with Jesus. Jesus did not always fit into the crowd, and he didn't want to, but he still had followers at the end of the day because people knew what he was capable of and what he had the power to do. And so I just think that is something that we need to remember as we are going through this college transition, is to remember that we are the deciders of our own future, and that in order to be successful and to resist this temptation, we have to decide that for ourselves and be a strong enough advocate for ourselves and for our friends to help them if we know that they're going in a bad direction or a bad path. So thank you all for listening. Have a great week.